Betty, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hello, Karolina.
Hello.
Hi,
How
are you?
I'm good. Yeah, here somehow. I don't know how I made it today, but yeah. It was good to listen to what you guys been saying. As usual, I feel so adequate in this role.
Yeah, I mean, Sarah went full.
Like I'm on the wrong party now.
I tend to do that. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's straight from the get go. Yeah, we could talk about it. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. And I'm joking.
So Sarah, this is Joe. Joe works as a motion graphics designer for like films and events and all kinds of stuff. So if you need motion graphics, he's the guy to chat to. Sarah's an actress stroke director, and Karolina's an actress, and Neil is Neil.
Oh, yeah.
You're a singer as well, Karolina, right?
More of a singer than an actress,
Okay.
but yeah, trying to do both, but more music at the moment, actually, wise than film wise. But yeah, this is what I do.
Hello, Karolina. Hello.
Hello.
Happy 2021.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year, guys. This is the
Yeah,
first
Happy
podcast
New
of
Year.
New Year's. Okay. And Karolina, I see. Is that coffee or tea?
Don't ask.
Oh, fantastic! Fantastic. You're gonna get hardcore Karolina. Nice.
No. I'm not gonna be hardcore at all.
Really? Why not?
Why would it be hardcore?
That's the only way I know you now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I must have made a great impression.
Yeah, you
The
did.
first time we met.
Yeah, you really did. That episode went up a couple of weeks ago, and the one we did with Greg, and I was looking back for it. You're funny. You're very funny.
Look, I just got to the part where I've seen the spider, and that was it. I said I'm not gonna watch the rest of it.
Right. Okay.
I didn't want to watch myself. I don't, talking about, because of what you talked about in terms of representation. There is like this very lovely theory by Rosemary Jackson called, which is talking about fantasy as a method of subversion. And I think that, about talking about representation as well, both of those things you actually find I found today watching those trailers, and they very much represent a certain moment in time. And when he asked about what the actor should be doing, this is what I thought about actually what the role of an actor should be, well, to represent somehow. And it depends on so many things: the script, the writers, the directors, the atmosphere, the talent, your interpretation. So shitloads of things. And I actually think that a role of an actor is changing with times. And I found some pretty good representations of what is going on at the moment. In those trailers, and one of them, the first one that we looked at, the lockdown, that's first on the list. I just thought it was absolutely, like, I wasn't sure about it, because I thought, look, coronavirus everywhere, 2021, we're gonna have New Year hopefully better than the last one. I'm not sure who's gonna feel up for it to go to the cinema and watch it, after this shit. So yeah, but it's kind of representing at the moment the reality that we live in, and talking about the minorities, and talking about what's right and wrong in terms of breaking the boundaries. But I think what's really cool about art and making art is that it's about breaking those boundaries and testing where they should be at a particular moment in time. So that's what Rosemary Jackson was pretty much saying, that you're subverting a certain moment in time in history and creating a certain fantasy about it. And you can either take it literally and look at the sci-fi or fantasy films and apply it that way, or you can just look at any kind of film or art and how it's actually representing the certain time and reality and giving you another vision of it, another perspective on it. So I think it's pretty exciting. Never mind that it's coronavirus still rocks kind of bullshit and we're on another lockdown. But
it's great, isn't it? It's great. Are you enjoying it? I'm joking.
Yeah, man. You know, it can get you really addicted to Netflix. I think that's why maybe such a good bunch of trailers came out, because, you know, automatically when people just sit at home and, you know, have to do something, Netflix is and all those streaming sites, I think, making shitload of money, because, you know, once you watch one good series or one good film, you're kind of hanging out there still. And, you know, even if you think about that, it's in like, they give you the whole season kind of thing. And if they give you that whole season, you get pretty excited about it, you know, watching the whole thing. You get it done in a few days, and then you're hanging on to Netflix for something else, for another amount of
another hit.
Yeah, a hit. Yeah, something
another shot in the arm.
Yeah, and it's sort of So I think it's a good business model for them.
I think that's going to change soon, purely because Amazon have they started releasing their series The Boys weekly, and at first people argued, but what's happened is that people continue to watch onwards, just like they did with The Mandalorian and with the other shows that have a weekly thing. So I reckon you'll start seeing Netflix shows starting to go. One, you don't.
Well, there's a few that go weekly to begin with on Netflix. So things like Star Trek Discovery, that's weekly on Netflix.
Oh, is that a Netflix show? I watched that on Amazon.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few shows that are literally just like as they come out weekly. But I think it's just because there's so much content, and there's so much content that certain things come out like, okay, this is gonna come out all at once. Like Bridgerton comes out all at once, or the Crown comes out all at once. But there's a number of shows, even I think some of it is shows that they don't necessarily own.
Oh, right, okay. So it's,
that won't come out weekly. So like Black Lightning, they don't own it, but when it came on Netflix, it came on weekly.
Black Lightning.
Yeah.
There is a TV series called Black Lightning. Yeah.
So everyone talked at the same time there. Anyone said what was that?
Yeah, I just said that. Yeah, there is Black Lightning.
Okay.
I confirm I've seen it.
Okay. I just realized that we're half an hour in. Oh, so I'm just gonna start this thing. 1, 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Zedos Game podcast. I've been talking for about 30 minutes before I actually started the show, so I'm a little bit all over the place. So forgive me. Joining us for the first time is Sarah. Sarah, what is your last name?
Azzarolla. Sorry, I
exactly. So there you go, Sarah. As she said, welcome to the show. Is this your first time or second time?
Thank you very much. That's my very first time. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, and also joining us is Karolina. Do you like your last name being said?
Yeah. You can say Karolina.
Okay. And this is your fourth time. Not that we're keeping score, but I know you've done on a few times. Yeah,
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not sure now.
Because I know you won a couple of times when I wasn't doing it, so I'm guessing it's either 4 or 5 times you've been on the show. But welcome back anyway.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here again.
And also, as always, Mr. Neil, the destroyer of worlds, Coppin.
Well, thank you. But it's not the destroyer of worlds, it's the eater of worlds. Eater of worlds. Don't destroy them. They're nourishment for me.
What an introduction.
I always try my best when I'm introducing these
Yeah.
guys. And last but not least, the
co-pilot.
No, I'm trying to come up with the Earth. No. The Earth Shatterer. The Earth Shattering, encumbersome.
Shat their pants? Not me.
Cack their pants. If you look at him, Sacha Allari.
Oh my goodness.
Now, that's an intro, man.
Hello.
Yeah, that's an intro. That's an intro.
Oh, well.
Intro like that. You need to come onto the podcast with a championship belt, Sash.
Yeah.
Jesus, how do you earn all those titles?
He's just raw. He's just very raw. That's what I'm gonna leave it right there. Sach, what is next? What is up?
Okay, first up we have Lockdown with who's in it? Who's in this movie?
Man whose name
directed by Doug Liman and Anne Hathaway's in it with Chidro
Ejiofor.
And yeah, Lockdown, a movie about lockdown. Like Karolina said earlier in our pre-discussion before we went on, just the movie we need about a current situation. But yeah, no, looks okay. Doug Liman doing a characters piece for a change. I mean, he hasn't done one of those since Swingers or even Go. I mean, usually he's doing stuff like Edge of Tomorrow or Mr. and Mrs. Spliff or
Spliff. Mr. and Mrs. Spliff.
Them two. And
you have to be high to get
generally blowing up stuff. So to see him go back to like a character piece, that's kind of exciting. And yeah, the trailer looked okay. Just okay, something to chill.
Like a soft zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it looked okay. You know, if it's on Netflix and nothing to watch, maybe check it out. But yeah, what did you guys think?
I thought it felt like it was two movies in one, to be fair. Like, as we say, we don't partially want to talk about like pandemic and virus and stuff, but I felt they were really relatable. So I actually really enjoyed the, you know, if it was the storyline about like following a couple being, you know, locked down and staying home and everything, I felt like, oh, it could have like some character development. And all of a sudden we're like in a freaking Ocean's 11 movie. I was like, what's going on in here? It's like we completely like shifted the whole like scenaristic line, and it was like very confusing. But I feel like it's gonna be a fun movie to watch, even so. Like at home when you've got nothing to do, put on Netflix, watch it, done.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that type of movie. It's not. It doesn't look particularly rewatchable. I could be wrong, but I'm quite cynical at my age.
Depends how far they take the heist element. I think that would be, you know what I mean. That would be the thing that would have me glued to it myself, because I do like a good heist movie. But I didn't feel the trailer concentrated on that too much, because like Sarah said, it did seem like a bit like two for one kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it did feel a little disconnected, that thing. That was a little bit weird.
It may have started off as one. I mean, it could be the script. The script may have started off as one film, and then we're in lockdown, so we may just have it as a lockdown film.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? I felt a little bit like it was, you know, a question of time before they make a film about it. But I just didn't think that anybody would be such a hardcore human being to actually release something about life in lockdown at the time of the lockdown. I just, you know, because people actually have enough of the subject. I think that many would just rather run from it than towards it. You know what I mean?
Is it Ben Kingsley that shows up in this?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks different for whatever reason. But yeah, that's definitely him then. I mean, it's clearly has a kind of a budget to get these people in this film. So
strong names in this room.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Warner Brothers are really making the push to sell people to HBO Max, which is not a thing in this country. So I don't understand the strategy of this particular endeavor, but because when it comes out here, where's it going to go to? Is it going to go to Netflix? No.
Sky Atlantic.
Sky Atlantic,
Yeah.
possibly. But if not, where is it going to go? Because there's no HBO Max here, and they haven't launched plans to say if it's going to be out here. So I find that very confusing. It's mixed messaging in terms of, hey, here's this film, but you can't fucking watch it. So
Don't worry, because it's gonna be terrible anyway. So
there you go. First review. That's going to be using the disclaimer. Terrible
1
by
star.
Sean. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. Films. Yeah. Again, it looks all right. I don't want to say any more too much about it because I can't say I was particularly impressed with it. So
Yeah.
I'll let someone else discuss.
I was impressed up until the heist element came in.
Right.
Watching the trailer, when it seemed like, I don't know if this is the right way to put it. It seemed very British, very kind of dry humor. The first half of the trailer, and then when it got to the whole kind of like heist bit, I was like, damn, I kind of wanted to watch this movie. And it was just like, because it was just like, when he was just there and he's like Zoom calling his friends, and he's like, oh yeah, so we're in lockdown. Yeah. And it's like the awkwardness from the trailer where it says like, oh, we were in a relationship and she was going to end things and lockdown stopped her, basically. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, oh, I've been furloughed. And it was like, yeah, this is hella British right now. I was like, okay, this could be funny, because I think as terrible as everything, currently is, it's a thing. It's something relatable. The majority of people can relate to, like, oh, here's lockdown. Oh, furloughed. You can relate to that. So it's like, okay, cool. I'll watch it because it's, it is the dry British humor of it. And then it was like, oh, by the way, there's a heist. And I was like, nah.
You just raised something very interesting, actually. So we were talking about like that's an HBO production, right? So American.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with an American person just earlier today, and I said like I'm furloughed, and she was like, "What's that? What does that mean?"
Mm-hmm.
America and Canada, they don't know what furlough means, and they mention it in the film when it's an American production, happening in UK. Mm-hmm. Is that not more confusing?
I guess for the Americans, yes, because I guess they have they don't have the same kind of stimulus package that the UK has given.
Well, no, because they got one stimulus check.
Yeah, I know. I find that crazy, but I guess people will have to look that up if they want to know.
Well, no, I'm sure that when he says it, because when he was on the Zoom call, he was talking to someone in America.
Right.
So I imagine that he'll say, "Oh, I've been furloughed," and they'll be like, "What does that mean?" And then he'll probably
well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. There's going to be a lot of confused Americans watching this show or film. Sorry, but
that's not it, man. Google works. Google's still working.
Apparently, people don't know how to use Google. apparently, but
yeah. Hey, man, look. When all of this kicked off, they was having to educate people on how to wash hands. I ain't surprised that they don't know.
Oh, God.
That's very true. Let's move on. Satch, what's next?
Okay, next trailer we got is Neil Marshall's The Reckoning. Neil Marshall is from Dog Soldiers fame and more recently the latest Hellboy. Yeah. But he is well known for all his episodes on Game of Thrones, which is what he's been doing for the past decade. He's been doing a lot of TVs the past decade, but he also did The Descent and Doomsday and Centurion. And yeah, he's just been doing a lot of Game of Thrones, Lost in Space, and Constantine TV episodes, and came back with Hellboy. But yeah, that aside, The Reckoning, I quite like this trailer. And if it's more like his older efforts, like The Descent, yeah, I think this could be quite good to watch. Really, I like the setting. I like the horror aspect. He does competent horror films, so yeah. Cast seemed pretty solid as well. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. What's your thoughts, guys?
I actually didn't get to see this trailer. I was busy putting the show together. So I'm gonna have to let you guys discuss. I've seen the others.
I guess I'm just like, yeah, I'll watch it. It seemed like a good enough watch. You know, it was interesting enough without me knowing anything about it.
Okay, that's a good start. That sounds like with trailers these days, within the first 10 seconds, am I in? Am I in? No, I'm out. And
yeah, literally, I was there and I was like, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, so it looks good then. Sorry, I should let you carry on.
No, that was
it. Honestly, didn't know what was happening in that trailer. Like, I've got no idea what the storyline is, but I didn't care so much because I felt like the production looks so well put. In terms of, I can tell there is budget, yes, and it was epic. Like, it looked really epic with all the fire and I mean, to me, it was like, oh, it's a movie about torture. I don't know. There were like a lot of torture happening in that trailer, with like the cross thing, with the women chained up to the cross thing, and yeah, yes, Joseph, that happened.
Okay, all right, okay.
But I felt like, oh, I'm intrigued enough then, like, to think, okay, when it's out, I'm gonna watch it to know what's going on.
Right. I mean, that's kind of sold it. It's torture, fire. I'm building a picture in my head of what this trailer could be.
Very Game of Thrones like. It doesn't surprise me that this guy did a lot of episodes of Game of Thrones, because I can sense that could be a trailer of an episode of Game of Thrones, definitely.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I agree. I could see a little bit of Game of Thrones in it, but I think that he's also done The Descent, right?
Yeah, that's right.
For a film. And I actually quite like this one. And I think that obviously, well, the storyline can be, at least it looked like it from this trailer, like it was about a vulnerable blonde turning badass and killing every bad, evil thing in the film. But yeah, with a lot of horror elements and cutting people into pieces and eating them or whatever. You know, so yeah, but I quite liked Descent, so I think that maybe if it's going to be this way, it might be quite good because it looks good.
So would you say it's kind of got it's like an action horror low not low budget but lo-fi budget kind of
I think it's just they messed up a little bit with a story of this film. At least it's not quite clear from the trailer. So, you know, they probably wanted to put all those cool looking, you know, bits of picture into the trailer. So, and with the story, you know, to kind of make people want to go and see it, to make it look epic and amazing. So I think yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the story was a little bit clearer, all I got, it was about some blonde woman who was first getting tortured. You know, people were torturing the shit out of her, and there was a lot of scary motherfuckers running around in masks and trying to impale her or put her on a cross or whatever. And she was like,
I think what it is, it's about the witch hunts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think, like, she is in town, and I think it's like they look at her and they're like, well, you're different and we got a plague going on, you must be a witch, you must be the cause.
Right, okay, that'll
It's like, it's the only trailer you haven't seen yet. It's the trailer that you should have seen.
Yeah, quite clearly. That sounds like it was gold. I'm sorry, I missed that. Well, yeah. I guess I'll watch that as the show ends. So give it a watch. Under recommendation of you guys. All right. Okay. Let's jump forward. What's next, Serge?
We have Space Sweepers.
Okay. I'm gonna let you guys go first.
I liked this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, Space Sweepers. It's a Netflix film. Yeah, sci-fi, action, a little bit of comedy. I saw with a robot.
I'll be back.
It looked aesthetically, it looked really good. It didn't look like cheap CGI at all. It looked like it was well put together. Yeah, I'm interested to see it. I think I'd give this a watch. But yeah, how about you guys?
I thought it was pretty amazing. I had to watch this trailer 3 times basically to make myself satisfied, and I think I'm going to watch it a few more times because I just loved the trailer already. I don't know what it was, but basically in terms of cultural reference, I just thought straight away of Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy, and that kind of connected with some badass, talk and comedy and everything, just sort of made it like I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it. I can't wait. I'm just going to be looking at it all day and night, this trailer. It was beautiful, I thought. But I'm maybe weird. Maybe this thing is going to come out and it's going to be completely shit, but I doubt it. Like, the chances are low, in my opinion.
I really enjoyed it, and also I love like that the Asian are putting put forward now. Like, there's a lot of Korean dramas and even Japanese dramas, but a lot of Korean dramas that are available on Netflix. But since Parasite, it's been like literally it's been booming. Like the Korean filmmaking, it's been booming. So I really enjoy that because I love like Korean acting, and the way they portray emotion is so different than European acting, I would say. They speak so like calmly, even so you've got like an epic situation happening, they always speak so calmly, and I love this. But I felt like, it was really fun because I'm not into like action movies or sci-fi and stuff like that. That's not so much of my thing yet. I just want to watch it so badly. Like, the robot seems cool, and I love like badass woman playing, like, she's a captain, so that's pretty dope. So I'm really intrigued, and I really love that trailer. Actually, I was like on my chair, just holding onto my table, being like, yes, go for it. I really enjoyed that.
I like this thing. It reminded me of so many different things at like different parts. It reminded me of like Firefly and Serenity. It reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy. It reminded in my mind, I was like, this is like Fast and Furious in space. If Fast and Furious was dope all the time.
Yeah.
But no, it looked good. And it's weird. The 2 things that really I was like, yeah, okay, I'm definitely in now, were one, when I think the robot was humming, and one of the characters was like, shut your mouth, and the robot just looked at him, I don't have a mouth.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So yeah, I'm definitely down for that.
Simple humor, and I really hope that in this film they carried on that humor, and it's not like a one-off joke that they put in a trailer. I really hope that's not the case, because sometimes movies, like, they tend to do that. Like, on the trailer they put the best jokes, and as soon as you watch the movie, it's like, oh, okay. That was it then.
Or they use a different take entirely, and you're like, oh, that's not how I remember it.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, next trailer up is Losing Alice. So Losing Alice. This one was pretty interesting, I felt.
Yeah,
looked pretty interesting. Nice thriller. I don't know who's it's directed. It doesn't say who. Oh, it's a TV series. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was, because it looked like it was a movie. It looked like it was a.
That's right. You know what? I keep fucking up on trailers because everything's done so cinematically. Even the trailers these days.
Oh yes.
I know we don't really talk about TV series, but let's talk about this. I mean, like, it had me intrigued. And now that I know that it's a series, that kind of changes my perception, because they could take that story in a lot of different places more than you could do a movie. What's your thoughts, guys?
Well, I agree with what you said about, first of all, it felt like a film to me straight away. And when I think I've read some description underneath the video and it said series, and it was just like, really? Wow, okay. So, well, it was one of those, but actually this is what I kind of wanted to say. There's like a recurring theme nowadays that everything, well, not maybe everything, but a lot of things come out on YouTube in terms of trailers, and they also and also for TV series. That's the thing for TV, for fucking series in general, right?
Yeah.
So it comes out for a series, and then you're just thinking, wow, it's like, is that a film straight away? Because there is so much effort put into the series nowadays that I think that it's sometimes it feels almost as if the film could be made of it would be as long in terms of hours and the time. A perfect film, like it gives you this this perfect amount of time to make a film that is just split into series. That's what it feels like to me. So when you have these directors like Scorsese, say for instance, he likes his shit to be long, and the longer the better. So I think like sometimes a lot of directors, you have so many films that you feel like there was not enough time or not enough space to write it and make it, to sort of address the plot holes or develop the character better. This is something that you have a chance to do in a TV series. So when you have one that's so psychologically complex for an actor to play, say for instance, then having that extra time can really make it great. And actors are telling the story that's written on paper, right? So not that I'm saying that something that's written on paper cannot give you a good story that you can appreciate, but actors are supposed to envision that story. So if the story is good and you have this time to introduce those characters to the audiences and tell the story through them, then that may make like a 10 episodes long movie actually a pretty good one. And I think I have a feeling about a lot of series being a bit like this. So I actually appreciate that on Netflix you can get that TV series if it's a really good one. Like Away is one that I recently loved a lot. That could, this is a TV series that comes out straight away, and I can watch all 7 or 10 episodes of a really good fucking movie. And if sometimes I'm feeling like, oh, if I had it on a big screen in the cinema, I would have loved it to pieces.
Okay,
that's all I wanted to say.
No, it's fine. It's just the Apple TV series that you guys are talking about. The Losing Alice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. It's like I said while you were away. It's another one I mistook for like a movie trailer, but we're just talking about it anyway.
Right. I mean, I guess that's what Apple have been trying to do. This make these quality programs or quality films that are on their platform, but it's, again, at the end of the day, it's another platform that you need to pay for, and is it worth it? I mean, that's another issue. But if the I watched the trailer to this, and I thought this looks like a TV series. But it looks nice, but because the narrative was so kind of stretched, this seems like it could be something like so it is a TV series then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It does. It looks like. Do you know what? Look, it looks like a Swedish drama. A Swedish police drama.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like something like Wallander. Was it Wallander? Wallander. that show that Kenneth Branagh adapted, because I know there's two versions of that. Anyway, it feels like that, but where's this set? Canada, or is it America?
No, I don't think it's set in either of those two places.
Okay then.
Because when she no, I mean I'm basing it solely on the fact that when she the main character, Alice, when she opened the script, it wasn't in English.
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah, when she opened the script, it was, I wanna say maybe perhaps Israeli.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've got to admit, I scrubbed through it. I didn't watch it because I was
even when she was like collecting awards, like I was paying attention. Like behind her, I was looking. I was like, "Is this the Academy Awards? Is this the Golden Globes?" And it was awards that I essentially never heard of. Now, obviously, that doesn't denote that it could be in another country, but I was just like, I don't think this is. And plus, the actress the actresses that are in it, I was like, okay, this ain't American.
Right.
But no, it did look good.
So that brings up a whole different perspective to that series, because it's set apparently in Israel.
Yeah.
And Israel is can be very homophobic.
Oh yeah.
So that that sets a whole different perspective to the story. Like, really interesting. Not saying that all Israeli are homophobic. Sorry, I need to bring that up. But
yeah. And I was just going to
being back, I'm part Turkish, so I can understand how this how that works basically.
right, gotcha. Woo, saying anything about Israel going to YouTube is quite a tough one. But yeah, again, I didn't even know. I thought it was somewhere in America. I thought maybe, but yeah, good catch. Have you guys finished talking about that? Because I've literally come into the middle.
I'll watch it. I mean, like the fact that it's got like the fact that it's got the wife from Daredevil, Vanessa. I was like, yeah, that's good enough. I'll watch it.
Vanessa Hudge?
No. Like the character's name is Vanessa in Daredevil. She's
okay.
Wife.
Oh yeah.
I like the fact she's in it. I was like, yeah, that's good enough. I'll watch it.
She is. Do you know what? I didn't remember where she was from, because I watched Daredevil such a long time ago that I couldn't recognize this was where she was from. But I knew that I've watched her face for a very long time. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, she's also in another superhero joint. She's Superman's mum in Man of Steel. She's the birth mother.
Right.
Oh,
Diane Lane is in it.
No, she's the Superman's birth mother.
Oh right, okay, I'm with you.
Okay.
What's next?
Okay, next up we have Sam Livingston and Zendaya and John David Washington starring film, Malcolm and Marie. Sorry, Sam Livingston's directing it. Yeah, it's literally about a director and his girlfriend are in a relationship that's tested as they arrive home from his movie premiere as they await the critics' response. You know what? I didn't even know that was the plot to the film, so the trailer did not portray that at all very well. However, I thought it was aesthetically speaking, I thought it was a pretty aesthetically pleasing kind of looking trailer. I like the soundtrack. I like the look of it. It looks like it definitely looks like it takes place all in one room or one setting.
So it keeps production costs down.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see it anyway. I generally like Zendaya and I generally like John David Washington. He's just he's just come out of the woodwork in the past 2-3 years, and he's just pimping out a lot of good work. So if anything, I really want to see it for the star power alone.
Bred from good stock.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they pull out here. Guys, thoughts?
Extremely excited about this film. Like, I can't freaking wait. First of all, Sam Levinson, he's directing it, he's wrote it, and he's producing it. I find like this kind of set of, skills is absolutely amazing. So well done him. But I'm in love with John David Washington. Oh my gosh, no, this guy, like the whole attitude that he has as an actor, I'm just like, I'm simping for this guy so hard. I've seen him. What was the film? Black KK.
Black Klansman.
Oh, Black Klansman.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I
It's a
love
good
this
film.
film. Oh my gosh, so good. But also, I love that it's a real story that really happened.
It's so bizarre.
It's so freaking, like, when you actually read the real story, it's like, what? Because obviously they changed, like they fictioned it up a little bit for the film, but the real story is so effed up. But anyway, I love him, and I never actually seen Zendaya acting, but I could see from the trailer, like she's phenomenal. But what I'm excited about is like it's a duo cast. There is only 2 people. That's it.
Right.
There's no other. So they depraved the cast from like side characters. It's only the 2 of them like fully performing. So that's what I'm really excited about. And the black and white, artistic direction to it, and it's just so innovative. So I'm extremely excited.
Anyone? I'm gonna let everyone go before I go. Karolina, Neil.
Okay.
I don't know about it.
Go. One of you go. Go. And go.
Yeah. It was,
I'm joking.
I saw the trailer and I was like, if I'm totally honest, I wasn't heavily interested in watching it. Like I'd seen like a still image of the film, like a couple days ago prior to obviously today watching the trailer, and I was just like, oh, okay, they're in a film together. All right. And that was as far as it went.
Right.
And I watched the trailer and it does seem interesting, but if I'm totally honest, Sacha telling me what the film is about makes me want to see it more than the trailer did.
Right. I mean, the trailer doesn't particularly do it justice.
It does because it. Oh, sorry to cut you. It does because it says that this isn't a love story. This is a story about love.
Yeah.
So I get it. That it's just the setting is, or the surrounding of it is obviously the nature of the fact that he is filmmaker, his premiere, and it's them dealing with their relationship. But I was just like, okay, it's whatever, but
I mean, it's.
You didn't draw me in.
Yeah,
if I'm totally.
Do you want to go, Karolina?
No, you can just, because I can tell that you're now in dialogue about it. So go on.
Okay. My thoughts about it is that I like the cast. I've never seen Zendaya act like that before. I just after the last film I saw John David Washington in was Tenet, and he owns his character, and I'm looking to see how. I'm just interested to see him on screen and her on screen as well. Just from because I've always seen Zendaya as the Disney girl, the little Disney girl that it's hard to explain. She seems to have grown in the past 2 years from how I remember her on screen, and I mean in the sense that she's grown as an actress. She's doing like a very adult themed role here, and I'm fascinated to see if she has the chops to go up against the Washington. So I'm fascinated by that. If not anything else, that is the one thing I'm dying to see how their chemistry is on screen and how she is as an actor up against quite an up and coming powerhouse as well. So that's my main interest in it. Now that Satch has said what he said about the synopsis, that's made me a little bit more interested, and so I'm looking forward to this.
Sash, you saved the movie, bro.
No, I actually thought that it was from the trailer. I think that of all the things I've seen, this is of all the trailers that I've seen, this and the South Korean Star Wars would be the
South
two
Korean
things
Star
that
Wars. Did I
definitely
miss something?
wanna watch.
How long was I gone?
No, what was this? The Space Sweepers, isn't that South Korean?
Oh, okay. Sorry, that's the what I missed. Okay.
Well, yeah. So I think that those two would be my favorite to watch from the list, because I actually quite liked the way it looked like. I mean, how it was made, and this moment of unsettling, something. I don't know how to. Yeah, well, I'm not going to get into like a romantic side of things or whatever, but looking at it, I just think that it looked beautiful, and at times it looked smart, and I hope that they can, like you said, I'm quite interested in seeing how they're gonna act, and I'm quite interested in looking at this, seeing this chemistry you're talking about, because actually from it's hard to talk about films like this and not get personal, but just
right.
The thing is that it may be, or it had that sense of a fair representations of two humans who very often are portrayed in films, in especially romantic comedies, as two fucking different species. So this is the way I feel about it. So you have this man and a woman, and there is this kind of everything between them that's so fucking funny that let's laugh about it. So I mean, for to see it here in a slightly different version, maybe a smart one actually, and additionally a beautiful one, I'm quite interested. I would like to see it. I don't mind actually.
Yeah. Again, it's, if anything, it looks interesting in various degrees. No matter how you look at it, there's an interesting element to it. So, yeah.
I just hope it's not going to end up as a slightly more sophisticated 50 fucking shits of whatever Grey or
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Nah. The Washington wouldn't be caught dead in that drink.
Nah, if John, so far he's chosen his
roles very well,
quite specifically. So I think if anything, it will be half decent, if at best. So I have faith in these two actors and the director. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure if it does turn into like 50 Shades of Grey, the next movie he's in, his name will be John David.
Yeah, his father will never live that up. Okay, this one's a doozy. Sach, what's next?
Next up, we have Wrong Turn 7000, or Wrong Turn. As it looks like they're. You know what? I didn't even know there was a second Wrong Turn, but it being the horror movie genre. And it being the horror movie genre, I see that like there's like about 6 or 7 of them. So yeah, this is the next one since last week.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
7 motherfuckers. I've seen maybe 2 or 3, maybe. I don't know actually, because they're all the same shit. So that I just thought that it's just gonna be a little bit more of the same. Even I don't know whether you remember, but in the trailer you have this woman saying, so that's all. No, what was it? She said something about this happened before. Oh yeah, this happened before, and I thought, yeah, it fucking has 7 times. It turns out.
Yeah. So yeah, another one, horror movie. I guess if a whole load of people are up for seeing this in the cinema, not that that's going to happen anytime soon, I'll probably end up watching it. But considering it's COVID and I'm at home and I get to pick whatever the fuck I want, I am not watching this. What's your thoughts, guys?
You know what? I'm tripping, right? Because I'm like, there's 6 of these movies, and I'm looking at it, and I just realized I haven't watched one of them.
Oh wow. Well, you're not missing much. I mean, the first one was
I have
okay.
over 100 horror films. Like, I have
One
never
of the
seen.
most disgusting horror films ever. It's really fucking gross.
I feel like I thought I'd seen it and I thought it was like, oh, you know, because Cabin Fever. So I thought I was confusing them two films, and I'm like, no, I haven't seen Wrong Turn, but there's now 7 of them. I'm like, I think I'm gonna miss that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pass.
That's a Wikipedia job.
Joe, thoughts?
Yeah.
Generic. But that person with the bow and arrow, I've put that up as the image. What a weird looking thing. No, it's a pass.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's full of weird looking people doing really weird fucking things.
To be fair, that's kind of what you want in a horror movie.
Well, yeah, sure you do, but it
I
comes
want
with
a horror movie. I want intelligence. I want Sidney Prescott. I want someone who's like, you know what? They're gonna be like, I'm gonna pull off this thing. I'm gonna make a noise in the woods. Hello? I want somebody who's gonna slap the person in the back of the head. Why are you saying hello? Everyone you know is in the room. Right? Who you saying hello to? Right?
I mean, that's the usual trope of these horror films, is that you have a set type of bunch of archetypes.
Yeah.
You have the overzealous one that will just it's just fine, man. We can just go into the forest. Yeah, it's fine. Hey, we're in the forest. Hey, there's no one here. Stabby, stabby, stabby.
No, you know what it is? You know what would be the perfect horror film? Where you could absolutely say, all right, I totally accept every single person making stupid decisions. Mm-hmm. Make a horror movie in the woods, and you get Logan and Jake Paul, and you get KSI, and you get all them other proper internet personalities, and you say, I'm gonna dump all of you lot in the woods, and we're gonna see who makes it out alive. Right?
I would watch that. I mean,
yeah,
I'll definitely watch that. I see Sarah has disappeared.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, it's just because this film made me feel nothing. I mean, the trailer made me feel absolutely nothing. I felt a void,
absolutely.
like an absolute void. I was like, what am I watching now? What was the film with that happened in the desert, and they were like those elephant man faced guys that
The Hills Have Eyes.
yeah, just get back to that, but in the forest.
I love that description. That's a great description.
Sorry, please.
No. I'm impressed that you actually understood what I meant.
I watch a lot of horror films.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it made me feel nothing. I was just watching at my screen, being okay, never mind, I'll pass.
You know, the only thing about this film that made me think possibly I might want to watch it was they had Matthew Modine in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and I'm like, you was in Stranger Things, right? I'm like, you might not make a bad choice after doing Stranger Things. Before that, okay. But I'm like, you held down all of season 1. I'm sure that you can make a good decision. But then I say that, and then I remember a part of the trailer where a guy has a chain wrapped around his foot and is surprised. I'm like, bruv, it's a chain, right? It clinks when you move. It's not like a piece of razor wire where you don't know it's around your foot till it's too late. It's wind could let you know there's a chain on the ground. It got all the way around your foot and you're just like, what's that? No, I'm out.
Yeah, we spent too long in this film altogether, to be honest. for such a we are the best marketing tool for this film right now.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Hold on. I just before we start this review, there's a guy that I always have at the end of my podcasts. He is in this film.
What? Daly's in this film?
Yep. and the picture that I'm putting up, you guys can't see it, but the picture.
Well, when the podcast goes up.
Oh
okay.
yeah, Adrian, this I hope you do a good job in this film. Carry on, Sach.
Okay. All right. So Outside the Wire is next. Now, when the first trailer hit, I gave this film a complete slamming. To be fair,
you got what you're praising, man.
I completely slammed it because the trailer didn't really let me know what it was about. It just looked like a dog shit generic action movie. But you know what? This trailer let me get to know the characters a little bit. Maybe gave me a bit too much of the plot, but it gave me enough for me to go, you know what? I kind of want to see it now. It changed my mind a bit. I want to see it. Yeah, you got to know the characters a little bit more, and that was the hook. Whereas the previous trailer was trying to sell you something, but didn't know what it was that wanted to sell you. But yeah, I think when it comes out on Netflix, I'll tune into this, check it out. Anthony Mackie's always great, so yeah, I want to see the newcomer as well. He looks pretty solid. So yeah, thoughts, guys?
I unfortunately cannot give an opinion because when I saw the trailer there, I looked, but I didn't watch the trailer because I thought, oh, I've already seen this trailer. I didn't realize.
They gave it. It's basically a trailer too, and okay. I remember us slamming it last time, but
yeah, because I was like, we roasted this film there.
Yeah. No, I've gone back on it because like they gave me context. You know what I mean? They gave me a lot more context, so I was like, okay, cool. But
well, to be honest, I don't know which trailer I was watching, whether it was the first one or the second one. All I know is that to me it just looked like a sexy Terminator.
Arnold Schwarzenegger right now is pissed.
That's brilliant, Karolina. That was spot on. Love it.
Thank you, I guess. I don't know whether Arnold would be. I mean, I have fuck all against Arnie. I mean, I love him. I think he's great, but just you know, this is how it looked like. That's what I thought. I don't know much about the plot. I'm not really. I mean, don't know. I think it might be quite just
generic.
Pretty, you know, badass lines with pretty, guys and pretty good action film looking in terms of how it looks like. So yeah, but yeah, sexy Terminator it is. It might be third on my list even, I think.
Third on the list. I like it. Yeah, it looks quite generic to me. I don't really have much to say about it. The fact that Adrian's in it is the only thing that excites me.
Yeah.
I'll let someone else carry on with that.
I felt like it was kind of a video game made into a movie. Like, I mean,
I think everyone saw the first trailer, didn't they?
Yeah, I've seen this trailer before.
Maybe.
Okay.
But there's a difference between the two then.
Clearly a lot.
Well, okay. One trailer gave you nothing at all other than action and.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Whereas the second one gave you maybe a little bit too much story, if that made sense, and it kind of made me go, "Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense."
I didn't feel like there were. Well, maybe.
Yeah, I think
maybe
we've watched.
It was a story. Maybe it was a story. I don't know whether it was a story. I was too focused on the apps at that point in time.
Oh,
I think.
Okay. I'm assuming you guys all saw trailer 1, which makes this pointless. Great.
Well, all I'll say is the fact that you watched trailer 2 and it changed your opinion on the movie. I am not gonna watch any trailers to do with it. I'm just gonna watch the film when it comes out.
Yeah.
Because I was watching you as you seasoned and seared and then thoroughly roasted this movie.
I did. I completely nuked it. I went to town on this film last time. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was feeling it.
Roasting there.
Well, I've said my piece on it. Everyone knows what I'm looking forward to on that. What's next, Seth?
Next up, not really a trailer as such. Apple put an exclusive clip for Tom Holland's Cherry. This movie's directed by Infinity War and Endgame's Russo brothers. This is their next directorial effort, and it's a crime drama with Tom Holland.
That one, yeah.
So yeah,
Do you know?
I liked the clip. It intrigued me. I want to see more.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland, he's always good. So, but he looked a little bit mature, and obviously he's growing up.
Yeah.
I'd say this was probably the first mature role he's had.
It was, yeah, it was. You know what was funny? When I watched the clip, one thing stuck out for me was that obviously it was like he was narrating it. It was like whatever's going on in his head. But I noticed that the military person that he was sitting across from the desk at, that person, their name was whomever. So it was sort of like, oh, like he doesn't even remember the person's name. He doesn't care about the person. So in his brain, it was just like, yeah, your name is whatever, innit? I was like, I quite like that. I was like, oh, I'm intrigued by this.
Yeah.
That and the fact that when he came up on the screen and I saw his face, I was like, Tom, is that you?
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this, so I'm going to let other people that actually want to watch it talk about it.
I am really curious because I don't know what's the storyline out of this, but I really want to know. Like, I love crime dramas and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, is he trying to get into the trying to work for the police, but for what reason? What is he up to, really? It's just like I've got no idea what's going to happen, but I really want to know. Like, this made me frustrated after when the clip ended. It made me feel very frustrated because I just wanted to carry on watching.
Yeah, I agree. This is how I felt. I felt like I was curious about, because of how it looked like. I like when you have this thing with no music going on, when you actually just have natural sounds and no music underneath, and you've got a guy walking in and having you sort of feel like there is going to be either something interesting going on. And so I paid full attention to what was being said, and you couldn't tell where it was going to go. So yeah, I definitely felt like, I would like to see more of what the story is, because it looks like it's going to be some good acting to me, and it looks like it's going to be something worth watching. I don't know whether it's the army or the police. I didn't quite catch that, but I just got some sort of uniform
thing. It's the army.
Yeah. And so I just thought, there is a lot of films about the army out there. And so to have something from a slightly different perspective of, just having this less bombs, more companionship, or some sort of a relationship between him and his, I suppose this is going to be his boss, lieutenant. What the fuck do you call them, all people?
Oh, funnily enough, the guy that I know a little bit about how recruiting stations work, and that guy, you'll probably never see him again. He'll probably be
wow. All right, so it can be even better than that, if they just sort of, so yeah, it's just I'm curious at this point in time. I don't know where it's going to go, but if it's about the relationship, I just thought that the stuff that he was saying, there was a layer of sarcasm and irony behind it. Tom Holland, his character, what he was saying to the guy, and then what the guy was saying back to him was, yes, it's like two, I don't know, obviously perspective of two different people about the same thing, war and army, and they just needed base their, I don't know. I don't know. You don't fucking know, but it,
You're intrigued. You want to know more.
I am. I can't wait to see it. I'm quite, yeah, I'm quite interested in what's it going to look like.
Okay. So, I mean, that's for a clip to make you want to see more. It's clearly worked in the sense for everyone that's seen it.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, definitely.
Has everyone talked about this now? I've lost track a little bit. Okay, everyone's talked about it. Okay, Sach, down to you. What's next?
Okay, next up. Okay, so
yeah. Actually, guys, I might gonna have to disappear at this point for 5 minutes and be back.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do. Do what you do, Karolina. Don't worry about it. Come back when you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. See you later.
Cool.
Okay, so what's next, Sach?
Okay, next up, Michael Aphead. Director Michael Aphead has sadly passed away. Most famous for, Sigourney Weaver's Gorilla in the Mist, that was nominated for a whole load of Oscars and didn't really win, but it was quite a big deal that year. He also did the film Agatha, based on Agatha Christie, with Dustin Hoffman. Extreme Measures with Gene Hackman and what's his name, Hugh Grant, back in the 90s. But and stuff like Enough and Enigma with Kate Winslet. But more blockbustery kind of films, James Bond's. I was going to say Tomorrow Never Dies, but it's The World Is Not Enough, and more recently, the last Narnia film. He was always a competent director. You always knew whenever you got him, he was like the safe choice, if that makes sense.
I didn't know anything about this guy.
Oh, did you not? Okay. Well, I know Marvel wanted him for Captain America, the original Cap film as well.
First Avenger.
Yeah, the first Avenger and stuff. And he's always like one of those directors that's always on everyone's radar.
Like Joe Johnston.
Yeah, kind of like a Joe Johnston. He's mainly done a lot of TV in the past couple of years. He did a documentary that came out last year, so it was quite surprising that he died. He was just always one of those directors that were always around, if that makes sense. Like, oh, okay, he's involved, and you'd always hear him in the movie news forum that he was up for something, whether it came through or didn't. Because I think working on the Bond film gave him a lot of clout. Even the Broccolis always wanted him back as well, and he was just like, "No, I've done it." You know what I mean? So he was even a front runner for Dune at one point. So bit of a sad shame. But yeah,
I really wish I knew who he. The films that you've mentioned, I've probably seen a couple of times. I didn't know he was that prolific. Today's literally the first day I heard about him, and
okay.
I guess that's ignorance on my part, but I didn't know he did Gorillas in the Mist. I always thought that was Richard Campbell for some reason. I don't know why, but I know Gorillas in the Mist that's quite a heavy film. From how I remember it, it caused a rumble at the Oscars. I mean, there was a controversy from what I remember at the Oscars that it didn't win, and I don't know what won that year. But if he made that, he's good. he's very good. So it's always. I mean, I think it's been a year of last year was a year of lots of deaths, and and I guess this is just another casualty of. I think this is when did David Bowie die? 2016, 2017. It was around that time, and ever since then, there's just a slow list of all of these people that you grew up with, just slowly dying off one by one. And so,
fortunately, it means we're getting old.
Yeah. Being the oldest in the group, that's trust me, I'm very apparent that I'm going to be.
How do you know you're the oldest in the group?
How do we know that?
You've not seen Sarah.
Yeah, I know.
She could be older. She could be younger. It's
Sarah's
an
younger.
enigma.
I'm guessing Sarah's either 29 or 31, 32.
Oh my gosh! Yes, it's right. It's very true. I'm 29.
29. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really? I thought you were younger.
Yeah, everyone thinks I look really young, but no, I'm 29.
Just from the way she was talking about film, but I correlated the date. Okay, she was born here. This is what she watched when she was younger. This is what she watched. Yeah.
It's funny because the most films that I love, actually, my favorite films were made in the 60s. Like I love old films.
Right,
so that's actually really funny. But yeah, but you got it right.
Well, I did say 3 years, so I was like, okay, let me let me go freeze here.
Oh, she could be 21, 35, or maybe 52. I don't know.
You're not stupid enough to be 21. And that's not an insult, by the way.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I know some 21-year-olds, bro. You hit the nail on the head.
I remember what I was like when I was 21. I was fucking moron. So just that just the way it's very articulate. If you can string a sentence together, then yeah, you're over 21. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, in terms of generations, I never knew anything about this gentleman, and I don't really know what to say in regards to his film catalog, but the one film that I have watched perfectly, Gorillas in the Mist, very good. Sad to see him go.
Did a lot of Ray Donovan.
No way.
Yeah, he directed a couple of episodes of Ray Donovan.
Fantastic. I love this guy now.
Okay.
I know all about him now.
No, I mean, just
but yeah,
if he made, I mean, that show's hardcore, man. So yeah, I respect, heavy respect.
Okay, so next up. Okay, so scooper Daniel Richerman. This guy, apparently, he's been coming up with a lot of scoops and a lot of them are panning out. He's kind of like a 50-50 scooper.
We're talking about DH.
Huh?
DH. I'm doing it in code so I don't ruin your opening.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we are. But
carry on.
I feel it's already ruined, but anyway.
I don't think so. Does anyone know what DH means?
No.
Everyone's got the show notes. Everyone's got the show notes. Everyone knows who DH is. Anyway, we're wasting too much time. All right. So yeah, apparently Disney are moving forward with the new Die Hard movie. Bruce Willis is in talks to come back. The project has nothing to do with the last incarnation, not movie-wise, but movie-wise. The last incarnation of the script, which was Die Hard Year One, where they were going to have like a younger version of John McClane. With future segments played by Bruce Willis, that's been scrapped. They're looking to go solely with Bruce Willis for as the lead in this one. And considering that the guy's just been churning out action movies straight to video on demand, I think his career needs a Die Hard. But I don't know, man. Like, I know how Bruce Willis feels about the role in general, and the last Die Hard, he wasn't even trying. You know what I mean? He wasn't even trying. I'm on board for another Die Hard if like it's written correctly, or if the original director came back. If John McTiernan was doing Die Hard, I'm in. But otherwise, I'm not that excited. What do you guys think?
Bruce Willis.
Me neither.
Stay home, bro.
I watched Die Hard with a Vengeance a few nights ago, and the pacing in that film, it's a thriller action film, suspenseful. There's so much in that third film that I don't, even if that was the end of the series, it would have been a good end. Because I don't. 4 is okay.
Yeah, 4 was okay.
4's okay.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't watch the last one. In terms of where, because
it was horrible.
It was horrible. The action film has changed quite a bit. yeah, I don't know how you can fit Bruce Willis into, especially the character John McClane is from a different time.
Yeah.
And it shows. It showed in Die Hard 4.
That's why I liked Die Hard 4.
Right. Oh, right. Specifically because of that.
Because he was so out. He was out of his element in regards to how he interacts with people.
Mm.
But, you know, it was like the Justin Long character was like, hi, I'm a regular person of present day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if someone shoots at me, I get afraid. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, not like, oh, I'm like the young up and comer and I'm going to be an action hero and like, yeah, I'll get shot and shake it off. Like, no. And I like the fact that, you know, where it was like one thing on that thing kind of really sold me was when he said, when they were talking about music in the car, and he was like, oh, why are you listening to this? And he was like, oh, this is a classic. And it was just like, just because it's old shit doesn't make it a classic. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know, yeah. Like, I like the fact that it was him as an old man, clearly out of his element, dealing with someone who's young enough to be his son.
Yeah.
And not having a good relationship with this person, kind of reflected in his relationship with his daughter. I was like, no, I like the way this is going. Yeah. And then number 5, I was like, I literally like, it's rare for me to tell someone not to watch a film. There are 2 films. No. There are 3 films that I tell people do not watch this film. Transformers: The Last Night.
That sounds like a
What about the previous 2?
Nah, like, I'm like, if you don't know nothing about Transformers, you get along with that one. The last one, even if you knew nothing, if it was your first time watching a quote unquote Autobot, you'd be like, this was not a good movie.
Yeah.
Right? But,
sorry, Karolina, I interrupted you.
No, it's all right. I mean, no, I didn't want to say anything particularly.
No, it's sorry. Carry on now.
I was just laughing about what you said, Transformers: The Last Night, for a moment.
It's the subtitle. It's ridiculous.
But you know, I misunderstood. I'm Polish, and the way when he said that, I just thought he meant like last night. So to me, it sounded like really bad film, because I don't know if I even got to the Transformers 5. I didn't even know that shit like that existed.
Transformers Last
Night. No, I'm joking. I know that Transformers exist, right? There was, I mean, not for real, but like there are movies made.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's various degrees of diminishing returns. I say various degrees because the first. Think about Michael Bay. He makes good first movies, and then he should move away from it. But this is not about Michael Bay. Sorry, carry on, Neil.
Yeah. So Transformers: Last Night. Damn.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that one.
Knowing there's a film with Nicolas Cage, right? I don't give Nicolas Cage all the shit that a lot of people give him, but no, I was.
That's nice.
I felt disrespected watching that film. Personal disrespect. I felt like the entire film, the director was sitting above the projector and he was just like, right? And
okay.
You know, and the third one is Die Hard 5. Now, I tell people if they say, oh, I've never seen the Die Hard films, I'll be like, watch Die Hard 1 to 4. And they were like, oh, but there's 5. No, there isn't. Watch 1 to 4.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
I don't think I've ever watched Die Hard past 3, but then I'm not sure I'll make any difference between them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't tell which one is which, except for the maybe first one, which I think on the show, the one before, I was telling you about how they named the movies in Polish. And you know, if it's in a glass building, then that's what it's like, Die Hard in a glass building, and this is in the title. So then every other one is not about a glass building anymore, but this is what the title of it is. It's really funny. It's Die in a Glass Building 2, 3, 4, and 5, and and now 7, and it's going to be even.
That's
more.
amazing. Die in a Glass Building. I wish it was called that now.
Die Hard in Airport, Die Hard in New York, Die Hard with a nerd, and then fuck it, just die.
Yeah, the fourth one was set in New York, wasn't it? Well, anyway, in terms of this new announcement, I guess I just don't trust Disney.
You know what?
Perfect.
It could be perfect.
It could be, but it could not be. Disney have not proved to me that they're capable of making anything other than franchises that make them money, and that doesn't necessarily correlate into good movies.
No.
It normally correlates into.
Wasn't it, aren't they going for sentiments there? Like, wasn't it that maybe Disney is a bit like a sentimental thing? So is Die Hard, the first one. I think that there isn't much to tell in terms of the story there. I'm not sure I feel particularly thrilled watching it. Mm-hmm. It's just, people love Bruce Willis for this particular one. And I mean, if you still have you got this app, Reface app or whatever thing? You can
I got it.
I know.
Reface into Bruce Willis there. And I think that if it still exists in the, in the popular culture in terms of things like, app for a phone that teenagers get, then that means he is some sort of a, classic in that way. Maybe the music that's in the movie or the movie itself or the script or the director aren't classics in any way or form for anyone. But
you're saying if it's still relevant in the zeitgeist, if it's still talked about.
Yeah, then because it was a Christmas fucking movie, wasn't it? It's like with Kevin Alone or whatever shit. People watch that in Poland every Christmas. It's like a thing.
Is it called
they
Kevin
were
Alone?
actually writing a letter to the TV station that said they are not going to air Kevin Alone in New York or whatever. It's a part of, it has to be on television during Christmas. Right. So now these fuckers put it on 3 times a day on every single channel that there is. So there's literally no way. And I watched Die Hard 1 this year also because this is another Christmas film that's just going to go on, whether you like it or not. So there you go.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Home Alone called Kevin Alone? Is that the title?
Yeah, it's called Kevin Alone Home. Yeah. And Kevin Alone in New York.
Kevin Alone in New York. That's amazing.
That's the best thing ever.
That's amazing.
I can try and translate more titles for you for next time, but some of them, because I watched the film in English, I don't, my education in terms of the cinema in Poland ended when I was 18, because that's when I left and I started watching everything in English with English titles. So then I don't remember then I'm doing the same shit when I'm coming to Poland and talking to my Polish friends, because then I give them an English title and they just stare at me saying, no, I haven't seen it. But they went to the cinema to see that, what I mean? So yeah, that's
amazing. Kevin in New York. That's a better title than actually Home Alone 2.
Funny enough though, I mean, Disney actually did do, well, it was under Buena Vista for Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Okay. I still Disney are a very different entity now, and I still think that.
True. No, I said true.
And I still think, I don't know. I think as you are, Sach. I'm like.
Yeah.
At least they have the budget. They could make
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Maybe they're gonna put like a couple of songs in there. We don't know. Maybe Bruce Willis can sing. We never know.
He does have a band, so
yeah, he does have a band.
So you really don't want him to do that.
Disney Prince.
Well, you know what? As I said, they can make the movie perfect, remove his superpowers.
Yeah.
Remove
Yeah,
all his
Die Hard 5, they gave him superpowers, man. It was
Yeah.
like, F.
remove his superpowers
Of not dying.
however old he actually is, make him that age, and ground it. Just ground the story, right? You know what it is? Say, all right, you have a 2 explosion maximum. I swear in Die Hard 1 there was 3 explosions, right? Say you got 2. There was the blowing up of the SWAT car, there was the blowing up of the C4 after the SWAT car, and then there was when the top of the building blows up. And that's it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just like, you know what? You got 2 explosions. And just ground it. And you know what? Humanize John, right? I mean, John McClane's had a hard life. He's divorced. His children ain't really messing with him too tough. Where's that John McClane?
Yeah, you need to rewrite the story. It's like, but you know what? I kind of have a feeling like you have the same thing with Rambo, right? Sylvester Stallone does this thing in the last, or what was it? 4th one?
Yeah, the last one.
Rambo.
Last Blood?
No. The 5th one is Last Blood.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't remember. Yeah, could be. Where he actually is acting, and it's the same with Rocky. I thought that the depth of the character was kind of, instead of just making it look funny, maybe they've made it a little bit more
grounded.
Serious. And I just think like this is what they did with what Sylvester Stallone has done. So I think maybe they aiming to do the same thing with Bruce Willis, which would be interesting. I'm not saying it wouldn't be. I'd like to see him doing that. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think we'll see.
Yeah, I really think it all depends on who they get. One, who the script writer is, and who's directing it, and how much he's controlled by the entity that is Disney.
I would love Taika Waititi to work on that.
Right?
You know, because he could make it comical, he could make it, and it would still be Disney PG kind of thing, and he worked with Disney, so why not? He's done one Mandalorian, right? So I think it could be really interesting.
You know what? You have Taika Waititi direct it.
Yeah.
And then you have Mike Tyson as his bodyguard. Whenever he wants to tell Bruce Willis to do something, if Bruce Willis is like, I'm not really feeling it.
I see where you're going with this.
And Mike just start wrapping his hands up. I'd be like, okay, I'll do it.
The scariest thing about Mike Tyson is because he can kill you, and the way he talks doesn't suggest that, and that makes it even that makes it more scary. I think you should do what the director's gonna do. I was gonna hit you, man.
Mike Tyson sounds like the kid that Mike Tyson used to beat up in school.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Again, I think it's just about who you get to direct it, and how much control Disney have over this director. So definitely, I would like to see a David Fincher version of Die Hard.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would actually be really good. I want to see that film.
It'd be dark. It'd be very dark. But it would be a different set of it would just be different.
You know what? That's a perfect director because he does very good thrillers.
Yes.
That's what Die Hard really needs to be. It needs to be a good thriller. And we don't get a lot of good thrillers at all. It's even they just take the action route, and that's what the later Die Hards became. Like 4 was an action movie, but it was a concept.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I didn't feel particularly thrilled. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the original 3. The original 3 were good thrillers. Yeah, there was action in it, but you know what I mean.
The story was first.
Yeah.
The story was first. Again, as I was saying about with a Vengeance, or I don't know what it's called, the die in the glass tower, or is it what it's called in Poland?
No, it's actually not. Well, we've just taken a piss because the thing is that they called it like I don't know how to translate it to English now, but yeah, it would be something about the glass building. It's like yeah.
Either way, it's a great title.
My mind is blind at this point because it's just I can't switch from Polish to English when I speak from one language.
Right. No, never mind.
I'm not a translator.
I don't want to stress you out. So,
it's all right.
But
no, I mean, yeah.
Just straight up and down.
Glass
I'm gonna get masking tape and a magic marker, and I am going to cover where it says Die Hard in my Blu-rays and change it to Glass Tower.
I just found out how like the name in French. I never knew because I always called it Die Hard. It's even worse. You're not ready for this.
Oh really?
So I'll have to translate what the word is in English. It's like the trap of crystal.
Yeah. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, in Poland, that's it's a trap made of glass. It's a glass trap. Yeah,
but
that's
in French
it's called.
Crystal. It's not glass. It is crystal.
Okay, not crystal in Poland.
Wow, that's elaborate.
There are no crystals in Die Hard, man.
I will say, Joe and Sash, don't you feel like we missed out?
Yeah, we definitely missed out.
Yeah.
I think that we all died hard. That's what I think. Okay, so that was bad and really bad. I'm moving along.
Go for it. What's next?
Next up. Okay, so Paramount have announced that Coming to America will be rated PG-13.
Okay. For those that have never seen this film, the original film, that was, I don't think that film from the 80s version will. If the 80s version was released now, I think it would be PG-13.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no blood in it. There's no. There's only obscenity.
Oh, a little bit of nudity.
I guess it's probably the nudity.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But
yeah. You're gonna
Doesn't-
see a pair of PG-13 certified tits. That's what this film is gonna be about. It's pretty much what the last one was about. I kind of feel like.
Again, in terms of this, I guess this is Eddie Murphy coming back to a property that kind of made. Would you say this made him, or was it Beverly?
No, he was already a star.
Okay,
he was already a star.
So
this was just part of his run. You know what I mean? His run of wins.
Well,
in the 80s, so.
Well, I mean, again, I think this is a quite a cultural one as well because I don't know how popular around the world the original film was, but I'm guessing there's a lot of people that are not my age, that are younger than me, have not seen the original, and so
bad parenting.
You keep on talking about age.
It's relevant here because this film, the original film, came out in 1986, and so depending how old you are, Karolina, you would have just been born.
Yeah, this is a top secret. I'm not going.
So
it's a top secret information, but I'm old enough to have watched this, and I think that you don't need to be I'm not sure whether you need to be particularly old to have watched this because recently it's been on Netflix, right? I think at least in Poland. And then I've seen it also when I was much younger, but I couldn't remember this shit. And only recently when I've heard that it was coming out again, I thought, well, I've got pretty good memories because you think all childhood memories are good memories. You're sentimental about this shit. So this is how I've watched the this film again, and I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing that I don't remember it from when I was a child and watched it first time, but the second time around I've watched it, there wasn't really anything that I found particularly, I don't know, funny that, I would just be lying on the floor laughing my ass off now. And just, tits there, and I don't know, some
again,
loads of things that are slightly, for me, a little bit.
I didn't know they made models of them.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yeah, no, but you probably want to. There's nothing to continue. To be honest, you go on because I mean, maybe I'm just I don't know why, but I'm not a fan at this point in time. I'm thinking maybe if they're gonna make another one and it's gonna be a little bit more contemporary, it's gonna be better. But I don't know. I didn't catch the joke. Maybe you need to be I don't know American to get it better. And many things just weren't really funny for me anymore. And I don't know.
No, I get it.
Whether the reason why I think it's a bit weird, this is getting to a second part.
Well, I mean, this film should have cut. If Eddie Murphy was gonna do this, I would have said he should have done it years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Years ago, I think I'm disappointed at the PG-13 rating because when I think back on Coming to America 1, when I think back on the original movie, I think, okay, like, even if you skipped the whole, the royal penis is clean, your highness, if you skipped all of that, like, in Zamunda, the royal bathers are obviously naked. If you skipped all of that and you just focused it on from like the moment he gets to America, it's not necessarily that the movie needs the language that is used, but the language that is used in the first film is so authentic to New York.
Of the time, yeah.
Of that time, the New York of the 1980s, that movie, the dialogue is authentic to that. That's why they probably got away with being able to have the characters speak the way that they did. Because, it was, you had two young, raw comedians who could say it. Truth be told, I'm probably one of the few people who's not really excited for Coming to America 2. Because like I looked at the cast and I'm like, okay, everyone in the cast, you got all the originals that you could get back, you got them back. But I'm like, but it's not just about getting those people back. It's about their interactions, what they say, how they say it, how the authenticity of it. We were talking about authenticity right before we started the broadcast.
Yeah.
It's like, anyone who knows anything about, for lack of a better term, like Black New York, even right now, they swear, right? And they use it as a common words. It's not, like to emphasize, like a lot of people will emphasize what they mean with a swear word. That is not there. That is just common tongue. And by labeling it, by announcing or labeling that it's going to be a PG-13, to me personally, I feel like what you're saying is we've toned down language, toned down what came before. And I'm like, Coming to America wasn't the most raunchy or outrageous film to begin with. So to announce that you're toning it down is probably not a great idea.
Yeah, agreed.
I still don't. I still think it will push the limits of what. Again, I still think that if the original film was released today, by maybe one or two cuts, it will be PG-13 as well. But
I don't even think the film would have got released if it was hitting today.
Oh no. It's not PC enough.
I mean, you know what it is? It's just like that movie introduced us to a swearing Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah, I forgot Samuel L. Jackson was in that.
What is this asshole?
Yeah, that's literally the first time I ever saw Samuel L. Jackson in a film.
Yeah.
And thought, wow, this guy is I believed he would rob me. I believed he would rob me. And I saw him in another film a couple of years later. It was completely different. Oh wow, he's a good actor. So that's my theory into Samuel L. Jackson. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about Coming to America. I hope it's good for Eddie's sake, and that's about it. If it's funny, that's a bonus. And yeah, I good luck to him. I'm sure it's going to be. I reckon it will be half decent.
Yeah,
in
you know
terms
one thing that I'm actually a little bit afraid of with it. I feel like maybe this, because it's the sequel to such an iconic film in many people's eyes, and because the last time he was in like a starring role effort was Dolomite, I feel like there's sort of like an undue amount of pressure that other people are probably going to put on him
yeah,
to succeed in this film, where it's going to be like, if the film is brilliant and it's like, yep, it's certified, it's etched in stone, you know, old school Eddie Murphy is back. But if the film bombs, if the film's like terrible, then it's going to be like, oh, you know what, Dolomite was like a lucky shot. Maybe it was because, you know, it's based on a real person, and like, who knows?
Yeah. Well, good luck, Eddie. And I think we should move on from this. Sach, next. You've got to turn your speaker on, Sach. Sorry, your receiver.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
There we go. I'm back.
Yeah.
I turned it off because I didn't want people to hear me munching.
We got it.
Okay, so yeah, so Warner Brothers and James Gunn have announced that the Suicide Squad is rated R. They're going full R with the Suicide Squad, and there will be a lot of death with these characters. Thoughts on whether that makes a difference to the Suicide Squad?
I mean, I think
Yeah.
Suicide Squad was safe. I mean, as soon as they were like, well, James Gunn is going to direct it, I felt the film was safe. I mean, it could be a PG, it could be universal. The films won't be safe. It could be PG. The film's going to be safe. It's James Gunn. He, you know, you give him an ensemble cast of like weird, outrageous, outline their rogue characters, he's going to churn out something wonderful. The fact that it's R-rated, cool, it works perfectly, especially from the fact that when when the reveal came out of all the cast, someone asked him a question and he was like, all I'll say is don't get attached.
Yeah.
Like, if that's your answer,
Man said that, yeah.
I'm literally like, I'm gonna make a bet with my friends when this movie comes out. I'm like, we're gonna, you know, who do you think's gonna survive, right? You know, we're gonna skip Harley Quinn, but anyone else other than Harley Quinn, who you think is gonna make it? You know, let's put some money down. I'm like,
yeah.
I feel like when they leave wherever they are, they're gonna be on a jet, and the jet's gonna have 2 seats.
Yeah, I was watching something online about that, and I just I got that feeling, like having goosebumps about it. I just wanted to I think that this is the Suicide Squad that I actually waited for after the first one, because I was a little bit disappointed, but this one looks much better. And considering the director, I think that there is no way this is going to be shit. And for Joel Kinnaman, when I've seen this stuff, when he said that, don't get attached to any characters, I knew straight away that this is going to be something different. So yeah, because the thing is that about the superhero films, very often they sort of feel about the same after a while, and to like it's. Don't get offended. I know I would be one of those people who would just, argue straight away. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're about something different. But after a while,
you're talking to
a lot of people that have
offended.
I'm offended.
Okay. No, I can see Neil is a little bit, but because I'm like crazy about superhero films. I have watched tons of them and tons of series on Netflix, and not only Netflix. And I love watching films about this stuff. So just when you try and talk to other people who may not be so into this, they very often say, oh well, it feels all about the same after you've watched all the Avengers series and Batman films, and other shit. And so yeah, it gets to the point where they just don't see it doesn't get as exciting for them anymore, because you have this good character going through the big traumatic sort of bounce back, and they coming back and kicking ass of a big fucking monstrous thing, or
Hero's
save
journey.
the world, or whatever. Yeah. So to have a film which is going to be R-rated and which is going to be killing off some of the feels just like maybe this sounds terrible, but like some fresh air in this genre particularly. So, well, let's hope. I mean, I can't wait to see it personally. I hope that it's going to be possible to go to the
cinema to watch it. Yeah, hopefully that's. I think Warner Brothers are hoping that as well, to various degrees anyway.
Wow, they just want to drop it on HBO Max.
Yeah, that platform is lighting up the world at the moment. I don't think the rating should justify how the quality of the film, in all honesty. If in some cases, I think it's necessary. If there's a heavy visual element that you need to show on screen that affects the quality of the film, then yeah. In that case, then yeah, that's when I think the rating should affect it. But if the film is well written, which I'm pretty sure it is, the rating's just a bonus. That means we're just going to get interesting visuals. I don't know if you two girls have seen a show called The Boys.
I haven't, but I really want to. But I need to get Amazon Prime, so.
Me neither, but it's on my list. I think I've seen it somewhere actually a few days ago. The what's the story about? And I just thought, oh, okay, well.
So I would say the closest thing to what James Gunn's trying to do is kind of what The Boys is like. Circumventing your expectations of what superheroes are actually like in a particular world. So that's what The Boys does. It. I won't say too much about that, but it's a really good show.
Superheroes were your current set of celebrities.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it as well. Just watch it. I'm pretty sure you enjoy it, because everyone that has seen it that either likes or doesn't like superhero films have joined in the middle, because it circumvents expectations so much that it's just different. It's a very different show.
I really like satirical superhero films, like Kick-Ass was definitely one of my favorite, or Deadpool. I love Deadpool, but Kick-Ass was like amazing. So I love like satiric, type of superhero stuff, and I feel like The Boys is. I don't know because I haven't seen it, but from the trailers or the videos I've seen, it seems a bit like this, like not taken too seriously.
Oh no, it's like that, but it deals with particular issues that, again, won't say anything about it. Okay. But it's very close to what we're going through right now.
Right.
And so I will leave it at that. But if going back to the James Gunn thing and the rating, yeah, again, as I said before, I don't think the rating should justify how good or bad a film should be, unless you need the visual element as a component to make to fill a gap in terms of your enjoyment of the film. But the rating doesn't bother me. That's what I'm trying to say. What about you guys? What about
the last kind of point on it was that I've just been literally looking at my film selection, and most, not all obviously, but most superhero films that are R-rated are actually line up to be better ones.
Oh yeah.
So you think, all right, so there's Joker, Deadpool, what else we got? I mean, obviously the opinion is divided, but Watchmen.
Yeah.
Watchmen definitely needs that component, and so does Deadpool.
Kick-Ass, Kingsman. Yeah. Spawn, Blade.
Blade, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of the superhero films that are R rated, or when we say R rated, as in like they'll be rated roughly 15 over here. They are usually pretty good efforts.
Yeah, because R rating means that your writing can be slightly more, serious, I suppose, or raw, or be based on some pretty extreme fucking emotions. You're not going to put that, exactly that kind of hero, like a Joker in a film that, say, for instance, for a 13-year-old. But then, to be honest, I'm not really. The rating thing is the rating thing because of the regulations. But how many films have you seen that you shouldn't have seen?
Oh, loads.
Your age.
Well, my childhood's full of that. That's how I got into film.
Yeah.
So,
you got to be careful these days with kids. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you show the kid the Joker, the joke's on you, because like a big fine will come your way, or like social services will. I was having a discussion with one of my friends, and he was telling me because one of my best friends, Simon. I remember back in the day, I saw Predator and Predator 2 over at his house. We were 8, 9 years old, okay? And that's when the movies came out, because his uncle used to get like pirated movies and stuff. And we used to watch all the stuff around his house, and we used to watch 18s and stuff. You can't do that these days, man. I was like, do you show your kids Predator and stuff? He goes, fuck no. I was like, why? He goes, it's a different age, man. They'll call, if the kid mentions that they've seen those films in schools, it's a big deal. It's a big
but I mean, like, until they get smart enough not to mention that they have seen it, because
this is where I think there's a weird change of culture here, because as a kid, I knew never to say, look, I'm not going to tell my mum or any of my parents that I've seen this shit, or my teachers. So,
exactly. This is what I mean. Every generation's got it. Like, there was shitloads of films I knew I shouldn't have watched. So I never mentioned this to my parents, and never ever mentioned this to anybody who was an adult, until I felt like I could. But yeah, so I don't think that parents or teachers or adults in general realize the full extent of the shit that the kids have access to or watch. Because it's in kids' interest to make sure that ain't coming out, and that is for one reason. They don't want to get some sort of a punishment, but also because they're not that fucking stupid, and and they want to, watch whatever they feel is interesting for them at that particular moment in time. And I don't think anyone can actually come up with okay, so this is R-rated because there are a lot of people who probably have seen this shit before, some R-rated shit before in reality. So for them, that wouldn't be scary. Maybe you could even argue that.
I'll be honest, right? The only times I was the correct age to watch films that I watched was because those films were made when I was that age.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Terminator, Aliens, Predator,
exactly.
All of these films, right?
It's so hyped up. I mean, it's going to be on a bus. What do you expect a 14-year-old to somebody's going to be running with curtains around that bus to make sure that they're going to shield it from every 13-year-old that there is.
Give it time, Karolina. Give it time.
How are you going to shield it on the, on the internet? How are you going to make sure that your kid is not going to see it in an advert somewhere? This is not possible those days. So I think that these kids are watching this stuff, and you have to be naive to think that they aren't.
Well, I think
just as our parents pretended they are naive about the shit that we were watching and doing, but the truth was we have seen a lot of R-rated stuff before we should have.
It's funny because my parents had a way different approach to it. My dad showed me Jackie Brown when I was 6 years old. came out, and he was like, well, at some point you're gonna see movies like this, so why not just watch? But it's funny because, well, you all seen Jackie Brown, right? You all seen this movie, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I hope you have.
Oh yeah.
And before the movie started, he just told me the end. He was like, okay, this person's dying, just so you know. And it's like,
oh, lovely.
I'm prepared for that. Well, he does that. He does that for every film. But if we were to watch a movie like that was rated or PG or anything, we would sit together and he would tell me the end of the story, what's happening, and then show it to me. So at least I would be prepared. So it's a whole different, but he knew that I would see it anyway, because they can't have full control, as you say, Karolina. Like, we go to a friend's, house, and maybe we're going to see a movie there and the parents are not there or whatever. Or we sneak to the cinema room and we see a movie that we're not meant to see. I remember when I was 12, I loved like horror films, and I would sneak into a different room in the cinema to be able to see it, So it would have happened anyway. Or I was playing GTA Vice City when I was a kid, and I don't think that was
same here.
That was meant to happen, but I was doing it. So, and you know what, guys, I'm still sane. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm okay.
Apparently.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Now you're gonna have to R-rate the whole podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
You bring that whole go watch the R-rated movies. Don't care about what your parents are saying.
The podcast is already rated R. We save that rating for when our friend Leo comes on, because whatever comes out of his mouth, it's gonna offend somebody.
Okay.
It's gonna offend somebody. So,
yeah, Leo.
Yeah, that's Leo.
Yeah, dancing around YouTube is.
And it made me sound so bad at the very beginning.
Oh no!
Oh
no!
Because I'm drinking things, and at least I just changed my,
Your mug, coffee. Is that alcohol now? Whiskey.
Yes, it is. It's not whiskey though. No.
Oh, vodka. Sorry, I forgot you're Polish.
It's an R-rated show. What do you think people drink on shows like this for 2.5 hours or whatever?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we're coming up to some time, so let's take that hint and move on. And what's next, Sach?
Okay, last topic of the night, since it is coming to 2.5 hours. Alex Garland of Ex Machina, Judge Dredd, and Annihilation. His next project is a film called Men, which is about a young woman who goes on a solo vacation to the English countryside after the death of her ex-husband. Now, that is a weird synopsis coming from. That is a weird synopsis coming from Alex Garland, who's renowned for sci-fi and writing, 28 Days Later?
Weeks.
That series? Days then Weeks.
Yeah,
he wrote both of them. Is this a murder mystery? I don't know, but like, yeah.
I don't know, because I haven't seen a trailer for it or anything. In fact, I mean, just thought Ex Machina, which is good that they give you that stuff before, that you can actually go into and Google who's the director of the show, because I wouldn't know. I just wouldn't know what it's about, to be honest.
Has anyone here seen Devs?
No.
No one's seen Devs.
Devs.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, Devs. Like,
I don't know what.
DEVS. Yeah, Devs. It was a show that came on last year. It was supposed to...
Wait, no. This is a British show, yes?
It was supposed to be a film, but was cut into a series. It's an Alex Garland series. It was on FX. Really, really, really good show. I recommend it heavily. I will say no more because no one's seen it.
Okay. I feel like the film we're talking about should be called not Men, but Very Much Expected. That should be the title, because if I'm a man, like a woman, and my ex-husband died, it's very much expected of me to take a solo vacation somewhere, just to,
I love that.
So the film should be called Very Much Expected.
Very Much Expected.
That's my point. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
R-rated translation.
Very much, thank you.
Very Much Expected. Great.
I feel like, to be honest, like just from it being an Alex Garland film and the fact that the title is Men and the synopsis is that after the death of her husband, a woman goes on a holiday alone anywhere, especially the English countryside. I'm just like, you ain't gonna enjoy your trip, lady. I'm like, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. You're not gonna end this film with a
I'm just
smile and be like, I should do that next year. Like, no, that's not what you're leaving the film with.
Yeah, from what's expected, it looks like it's gonna be a pretty weird fucking film, you know. And the husband
I'm just thinking of, you know,
she goes on holiday.
Nah, this ain't gonna end well.
No, I mean, if it again, not giving away anything about the last thing he did. The last thing he did was Devs, and if it ends anything like that, it's not going to be happy ending.
I'm like, the closest so far of all the projects that this man has done, the closest he's gotten to a happy ending, right? No, it was Judge Dredd. It was Dredd. That's the closest he got to a happy ending, was Dredd. Why? Because the main character lived and walked the fuck away. Right?
But like, once again, I'm gonna state the obvious, but if you've got a story about a woman going on to a vacation and it's ending well, I'm sorry guys, I'm not watching this film. Like, what's gonna happen? You want thriller, you want something. So yes, I want it to end bad. I want it to be weird. I want it to be intricate. Like, otherwise, I'm just waiting an hour and a half of my life.
And also, I think.
Well, he did write The Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, well, he was a writer before he was a director. The film, and he mainly worked with Danny Boyle.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he did. Okay. So he did the Beach, 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later.
Oh yes, of course he did. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. He did Sunshine.
Yes.
He wrote a movie called The Tesseract, not affiliated with Marvel in any kind of way. And he also was the writer for the 2013 iteration of Devil May Cry. If you're a video gamer.
He did that?
Yeah, not the original game, but
the new one. Yeah. The one that they rebooted and now it's back to anyway. Carry on. That's for Video Game Channel.
Well, that's the thing, is that most of the stuff he writes does not end well for the main protagonist.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, or it's sci-fi, bar the beach. But
I think it's like, because obviously we have no clear understanding of what's going to happen in this project because it's just an announcement of it. But have any of you heard of or seen a film called Eden Lake?
No, I've heard of it though.
Yeah, you've heard of it, right? Yeah, I'm just like, like women going into the English countryside in like movies is it don't end well.
What's her name?
Like,
is Elizabeth Moss in that?
I can't remember, but I just remember I'm like, most films that I could think of where a woman or a group of women go into the English countryside, it don't end well. Right? I'm like, unless they're going in there strapped like Sarah Connor.
Okay, I would stay in the city then. Yeah, I take note. Thanks.
Yeah. Again, I feel this. I need to get this out of my system. Whoever hasn't watched Devs yet, you're grossly missing out on something very quality. That's very, very mind twisting. Actually, no. If you like Ex Machina, you'll like Devs.
Oh, I like Ex Machina actually. Yeah. What platform is it on?
I have no idea. I watched it on TV.
Oh, BBC iPlayer. BBC iPlayer. It is on.
Right. So yeah. Watch Devs. I'm in a plug mode today.
I just looked it up. I think I will watch it.
Yep.
Nick Offerman is in it.
Yep.
Nick Offerman is such a good actor.
Yes, he is.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Hurry up and catch up, guys.
Yo, you already know the gargantuan list of things I need to get.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. But yeah, that's all I will say about Devs. Whatever Alex Cullen's up to next, that synopsis sounds very suspect to me. It's not going to end well. It's the English countryside as well.
Always.
Okay, okay. So yeah, it's not gonna end well. Either she's a murderer or someone's trying to murder her, or it's sci-fi in a weird backdoor way.
You know what it is? You know what it is? She's gone to the countryside alone. The DNA of her dead husband. She's gonna bring him back.
I love speculating what this show's gonna be. I love it. All right,
That's why she went alone. They were like, "Oh, why are you packing for two?" No,
That sounds like a really good script, this one.
Yeah.
There we go. Sarah can direct it.
Exactly.
Karolina can star in it. And,
Yes, the dead husband.
I could do the motion graphics for it. We've got a crew here.
yeah, we've got a crew.
the whole
There we
team.
go. Got a team.
Okay, let's end the show because we have gone past like 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, does anyone have anything to plug, anything to say, anything they want to get off their chest? No?
Yeah, there's a little tiny little like, you know, independent kind of like a podcast going on. You know, you probably haven't heard of it. It's called Creative Control. I think everybody should, you know, look it up. It's on YouTube. It's on Apple. It's on Amazon. You know, on Amazon. It's on, you know, it's on Spotify. You can look for it. It's about. If you like podcasts, you like films. It's about, you know.
Sure.
Neil may or may not be on it, but you know.
yeah, as what Neil is trying to say, or he did say it. That's the Creative Control podcast. That's hosted by Mr. Kenneth Akbalut, and I believe it's every second Tuesday that his show is released. So look out for it on major platforms that you listen to stuff and watch things with your eyes. And as for this podcast, you can find it on YouTube. I don't like plugging my show, so I'll leave it alone. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Karolina. I called you Paulina for a second there. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Sach. Again, is there anything that you want to plug, or anything that you want to say? Sarah, you being a director / producer /
yeah,
you must want to say something.
Everything. No. Well, I mean, I could update you on that, but Sash, you know that I guess I just opened my own production house. So I am now CEO of Groundhog Films.
Groundhog Films.
That's Groundhog, yeah. Which it's funny because I created it in 2020, and the woman on the company house was like, "Oh, it's funny because 2020 was pretty much like the film," and I was like, "Haha, good joke. Okay, thanks." Like,
yeah, just get on with it.
You're right. But yeah, so gonna create a lot of projects. This company is basically based on welcoming a lot of new talents to create films together and to propose them into bigger like companies or, you know, opportunities. So it's really to help the youth coming out of the school life, I would guess, from the film industry. So hopefully that's gonna go well. So yeah.
Okay. That's do you have a website or anything?
Not yet, because I just started it. So it's gonna be slow, but keep in the noggin. It's Groundhog Films.
Okay. Yeah, I'll there's nothing to put in the description, but people will hear it. So,
exactly. Thanks.
So next when it is up and loading, I'll and you're on the podcast again, I'll put it in the description. Karolina, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I can invite everybody to my YouTube channel called Coppin, and see if anyone wanted to listen to some music, but there's not much there at the moment. I think that becoming systematic and putting music on systematically is not my strongest
well, yes, you've got stuff up and coming.
Characteristic at the moment. Other things going on, but pretty soon I'm going to be trying to upload some new videos up there and some new music that I have wrote and recorded myself. Well, with the help of a producer in some cases. as well. And yeah, and that's about it for the time being. Hopefully be back in London soon to play at a gig in one of the bars. So I'll let you know. Maybe we'll have a podcast before then, so I'll let you know, update you on the dates and things like that. Yeah, that's it really.
Okay, well, again, I'll plug you out as usual, and just keep updating your music, keep working.
Yeah, I'm trying to had a few technical issues recently, and to do with my Mac, and I've lost a bit of it, so I had to re-record it. And it's been, you know, Christmas and everything, and yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's been a hard year.
It happens. Yeah, it's been a hard year. It's been a hard year, but to be honest, I really hope that it's not going to be this bad this year, just like everybody else. Hope is the mother of fools, they say, don't they? but no, I really hope that it's going to be all post-pandemic this year at some point. At least let's hope the summer will be good.
Yeah.
A pain in the ass.
And Neil, is there anything you want to plug?
I plugged it.
Good.
He already has,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Sacha Allari.
Nothing to plug.
Nothing to plug. Just good vibes. Good vibes. Good vibes to everyone that listened. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
No, you know what I want to say, right? To everyone that's listening, regardless of your, your age, your gender, your race, your religious beliefs, everybody should love good movies. Everybody should, at least tolerate bad movies. Go watch them, right?
Praise.
Take your mind away from like everything that you don't want to think about.
Yeah, just don't watch the lockdown for that one.
Can we recommend like a film or a movie to end this? Each of us?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it. You start, Joseph.
Recommend a film. You put me on the.
You're on the spot. Here are my notes. I'm gonna
a
go.
Series or film? Anything.
Okay, because we mentioned Alex Garland. If you've not seen Ex Machina, watch Ex Machina. Actually, there's two films I wanna plug. It's called The Neon Demon. I've been obsessed with the film since the trailer. Never saw it for 6 or 7 years, and now finally watching it. It's one of the most bewitching films I've ever seen from Nicholas Winding Refn. He's a interesting man to come up with such a bizarre concept of a film, but it's very good. The Neon Demon.
Nice.
That's it.
Man, we could have done the whole podcast on just that fucking film, dude.
I mean, let's not freak people out, because it's not. I'm not. Look, that film's not as accessible as I think we think it is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah,
for sure. But I love that film.
So do I.
But because you've taken it, I'm going to say The Nice Guys.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good film.
You got to expand on it, man. Go on.
Expand on it.
Go on. What are you going to say?
Expand on The Nice Guys.
Oh, me? Expand on The Nice Guys? No, just go watch it.
I was actually talking. So I was talking to Karolina because Karolina started saying something, then she stopped, and then.
We all got confused. You were about who is gonna watch what and what we should watch. What I recommend you watch.
Yeah, which film are you gonna recommend?
Well, I like my old school things. That old school. Well, they're not really old school. I suppose that maybe
It'd be old school for me. Maybe.
Thank you. Do I look this old?
No, it'd be old school for me.
No, I'm joking. Like, no, I think that it's the film that I would recommend is Stalker with what's her name, Mia Wasikowska, right?
Mia Wasikowska. Yeah,
Oh, that's a really good film.
Yeah, in terms of well, because we were talking about thrillers and we were talking about actually finding a good thriller to watch. So I think that in terms of thrillers, this one made me thrilled on so many levels, because it's beautiful cinematography. I think that the just breathtaking, and yeah, and it's quite exciting in terms of the story. So I'd recommend that.
Okay, that's good. This is a good recommendation. I've not seen that film, so
by the director of Old Boy.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, the same director.
He did Stoker as well.
That's the one that I was talking about. Stoker,
You said Stoker?
Yeah, she said Stoker.
Oh, okay. I've seen that then. Okay. All right. I thought you said something else completely. Okay. I thought,
sorry, my accent may be shit.
No.
I've just had a little bit too many drinks.
Teas. Too many teas. Because when people pronounce Stoker differently in this country. People pronounce it so many different ways. You go to another person, they say stalker, steaker, stoker, stalker.
Yeah, stoker. Yeah.
So yeah, forgive me. I'm very sorry. That film's not old at all. That film's not old at all. Yes, good recommendation actually. So now to you, Sarah. You've had time to think about it now.
No. Well, I mean, for whomever didn't see it, I mentioned it earlier, but I thought like that was an amazing movie. The Black Klansman.
Oh, Black Klansman, yeah.
Yeah, for like you probably have seen it, but maybe the people watching the podcast didn't. And it's an incredible movie. But also, I'm watching at the moment Pretend It's a City, and it's a mini series on Netflix with Fran Lebowitz, and I feel like she's absolutely incredible, very intellectual, and her point of views are resonating a lot with me. And I'm sure hopefully it's going to resonate with a lot of other people. She's just talking about like the city of New York and how people are acting as a general public. It's just really interesting, and I invite everyone to watch it. It's called Pretend a City, and it's directed by Martin Scorsese. And it's just Fran Lebowitz talking to him, like they're sitting on a table and they're just having a talk. But the way it's put together is actually really nice to watch. But the whole script, like the whole script, it's not scripted, but the whole talk is actually very intellectual and interesting.
Okay, that sounds like that sounds like it's like what's that show with the FBI talking about oh God, what is it called? Mindhunter.
Oh, Mindhunter, that's really nice.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
But it's not a fiction at all. Yeah, it's more like a biography kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Where she gives a very like opinion, like she's giving her opinion about people in general. But it's funny because you realize that I'm not the only one thinking that. But when you are that person and other people are thinking the same thing, you're like, everyone is thinking the same thing, but we all acting like we are in the world of one, if that makes sense.
Like a hive mind, everyone's thinking the same.
Yeah, but yet we act very differently.
Right.
If that makes yeah, it's just like watch it, guys, and it's mind blowing a little bit, but it's really interesting. Really interesting.
All right, what to look out for. Okay. Has everyone said their thing to watch? Yeah, everyone said. Okay. Yeah, go on.
I got two. One, Knives Out.
Okay. Yeah.
If you are listening to this podcast and you haven't seen Knives Out, I am disappointed in you. Yep. Totally disappointed in you. Right? Trust me, the first lockdown came in March. You've had a long time to watch that film. I'm disappointed.
Lockdown. We're gonna be now counting it in terms of lockdowns. How many films you've seen? How many lockdowns have we had? Well, were you at home for 3 months? Then why the fuck haven't you seen half of Netflix yet?
I haven't finished that game yet. I'll finish
What is
Netflix
wrong with
soon.
you? Why haven't you played Cyberpunk or something?
Because
Like,
it's broken.
why haven't you played The Witcher? What is wrong with you?
All Polish games I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm patriotic that way, and considering it's some pretty good shit.
Yeah. You know what? Another thing that I'm gonna recommend: Big Trouble in Little China.
Golden but oldie.
Golden oldie, right? If you if you haven't seen that film, go watch it. It's from a time when you didn't have to take yourself too seriously. You can make a good film just for the sake of making a good film. And that's all I'm gonna say. If you look it up, there may be like a disclaimer telling you that it's insensitive, like in various ways, but just watch it. It's got double thumbs up.
Yes.
Kurt Russell with his prime.
Okay, yeah, it is Kurt Russell at his prime. Okay, well, on that bombshell, I'll end it there. Sorry to keep you on the strings, guys. Again, thank you for joining us, Sarah, Karolina, Sach, Neil. This has been the Zedos gang, and we're out.
Go on, do it. Come on.
I am the man that killed Jamie Lannister.